Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of News You Can Use. We're back for another season here at LaSalle TV. I am so appreciative of the opportunity to come back to LaSalle TV studios and to be a part of the team here at LaSalle. We are delighted to be able to bring you news you can use in this new season. And on our first program today, we're taking the whole show to shine the spotlight on the Mount Carmel Baptist Church and the women of Mount Carmel as they prepare to host an amazing conference coming up in the month of March. So we wanted them to come on early, that's right, Black History Month, so that you can register, pre-register, and do all you need to do to be there on March the 8th, Saturday, March the 8th. This is News You Can Use. I'm your host, Thera Martin. We'll be back with our guests in just a moment. Stay with us. Here, Thera Martin with you on this edition of News You Can Use.
Very much for having me.
Wow.
Good to see you.
It is good to see you, but you didn't say that. You said you can use rebooted. I'm Thera Martin, and I am glad to be back at LaSalle TV. Here we go, a new season for LaSalle TV, and I am so excited. I've got two of my church sister friends and people that I respect and admire so much with me today to tell a special story. We've got Dr. Patricia White here. Thank you for being here.
So good to be here.
Let's see, the president of our deaconess organization for Mount Carmel Baptist Church, and another one of your sister deaconesses we have with us, Kimberly Smith. Thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about what you have cooked up, what the deaconess of Mount Carmel Baptist Church have cooked up, a women's conference.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's going to be exciting, informative. I think the women who will come will benefit. When they leave, they'll take something with them, both physically and spiritually, and even informationally, because we have some fantastic women who will be panelists, who will speak on various areas of our lives, our mental and physical health. How we lead, and then we're going to talk about service, how we give, and what we do while we're giving. So all of those things.
That's going to take about 2 weeks at least, right?
At least. So this might be part one.
Yes, yes.
But I'm so excited, and the women who have agreed to work with us and come and be a part of us from across the city and even outside of the city. We have some who will be coming from various areas outside, Harrisburg and those kinds of things.
How exciting.
Will be coming to share with us. So I think it's going to be a grand time.
All right, so Miss Kimberly, we're going to put you to work too.
Okay.
Now, tell us a little bit about pre-registration. Is there an opportunity for women to attend this conference to sign up in advance of Saturday, March the 8th?
Certainly. So there are two ways to do it. The number one way, we would always welcome anyone to fellowship and worship with us at Mount Carmel Baptist Church at 57th and Race. Pre-registration can be done after service beginning February the 9th. So from February 9th through February 28th, every Sunday you can register in advance in our lobby after service. And then there's also online registration through Mount Carmel Baptist Church website, which is MCBC Philly, and they can go online and click the link for the Deaconess Ministry Summit and Conference that's scheduled to happen on March 8th.
Okay, and I looked at the flyer and I saw the price. Nominal fee.
Yes.
To be able to come and to get all that information and inspiration and get a little bit of food to eat too.
Yes, we're going to feed you pretty good.
I love it.
And
Yes.
a little bit of appreciation. You'll be able to walk away with something from us to keep us in mind, and also to, keep your spirit up, to lead and to keep your mental health.
So the conference will run from what time to what time?
8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, and the deadline for people to pre-register is February the
28th.
Okay, the last day of Black History Month.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we are in a good time frame to be able to have this information on News You Can Use so that viewers around the city will know about it. While Mount Carmel Baptist Church is based in West Philadelphia, people can come from around the city, or like you said, Dr. Patricia White, from anywhere. If they want to get to Philadelphia, come on.
All across the Commonwealth. Yes. And
So
anywhere
tell us about who some of the other panelists or speakers are going to be that will join us.
We have fantastic speakers. We have Minister Robin Maddox, Robin Shine Maddox, I should say, who is the organizer and started the conference for She Shine, which happens every year, and for the last 5 years, I think. We have Reverend Carrie Hill, one of the associate ministers at Jones Memorial Baptist Church. Fantastic woman. And we have Deborah Henderson Scott, who is a mental health advocate and a specialist who will be presenting. And Tiffany Curtis, Minister Tiffany Curtis from Second Mount Zion, who will be speaking about service. And she's a young woman who has been through a lot of various ages, and we just wanted to get everyone involved.
Well, Dr. White, at a time in our country when there's a lot of changes going on, and we got a new president in the White House, and Mr. Trump is using his prerogative as president to do the things that he wants to do, there is a sense of disheartenment. Some people are dispirited. Some people are just plain old down. Not everybody. I'm not trying to paint a picture of fatality all across the world, but there are some people who are challenged with the changes that are happening. And so I'm thinking after the year 2024 and seeing so many black women in particular who worked so hard, so many of them, to try to help Kamala Harris get into office, there were those who were they felt knocked down when things didn't go the way that they thought they would go. So conferences like this, I think, could have some healing source. For me, it was the She Shines conference, which was right after the election.
That's right.
And Dr. White, I had a bad attitude because after November the 5th, I didn't want to be bothered with anybody or anything. I didn't want to go to work or anything. I mean, I had to, right? You want to keep food on your table, you better show up for work, right? But my spirit was not good. And then I'm like, oh gosh, the She Shines conference is this week, and Robin's my girl. And I mean, I always try to support her, but man, I don't want to go. I mean, this is what I'm saying out loud to myself in my house. I don't want to go. And I had that spirit up until the morning of the conference, and I had to pray. I had to pray and ask God to wipe that spirit out so that I could go and be supportive to my sister. Little did I know how much I needed that conference. When I got there, I was like, oh my God, all these beautiful women here. And it was a very powerful session. That's why I know I'm charged up for what we're going to do at Mount Carmel Baptist Church on March the 8th. It's going to be good. It's going to feed our spirit, our soul, our mind, everything.
I think most of us needed something like that. And as God would have it, this plan came to us just before all of that happened. And going into it, I see us leading into women who are still in that place, but doing what we're going to be doing. We're going to be able to lift them
I'm gonna need some
out
lift.
of some of it.
I'm gonna need some more liftment. I'll be there if I have to crawl
because
there.
this is difficult times for us, all of us, because we're not used to having someone stand on our neck and tell us we can't do what we know we can do. So we're going to be able to listen and hear and be able to get some spiritual lifting, if nothing else, to go forward.
I know it's hard sometimes to find even the healing words or what to say to people, male or female, to keep the encouragement going, to not give up, to still, let's talk about voter registration. Let's register to vote. Let's be engaged in the political process. Some people look at me and roll their eyes and Thera, are you kidding me?
Yes.
But I'm not kidding you. It's important. And we can't give up. We cannot give up. Voting is the American way.
We have to take that and move up with it, not move along with it, move up with it. Because that person who is in the White House he's there. And we have to know that for the next 4
Yes.
years. But we have to continue to do
Still have
what
to
we
work.
have done over all these years. I'm in an era where I have gone through some of these things that we have to go through again to get where we need to be.
I
And it
never
leads to
thought.
the subject matter of the conference.
Yes.
Women who lead and serve, right? And then also our mental health and our wellness, because that's something that we all have to tap into so severely right now, because I think that is going to be our lasting power, that we have to take care of ourselves. And as leaders in our communities and our churches, I think us as women, that 92% of us that showed up, I think it tells the true story of our resiliency. So.
Okay. Now we're getting ready to go to break in about 2 minutes, but I know you said that for people who come to worship at Mount Carmel over the next 3-4 Sundays, right after service, you can go to the fellowship hall downstairs of the church and register and pay your money. Was it $25, $35? I can't remember. $25. And you're locked in for the conference on Saturday, March the 8th. But is there any other way that women can plug in? Is there a QR code or anything? No. On the flyer, no?
No,
Okay.
we don't have.
Okay.
We didn't get there with the QR code. I'm sure our young women who
We're
are
going to pass the word.
working along with it will
Yes.
bring us on conference number 2.
I have a feeling, even not having a QR code, it's going to be all right. This conference is going to be big. It's going to be important. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can tell. Starting with the women of Mount Carmel, the
Yeah.
women of
Yeah.
Mount Carmel, and then all the other women who are going to flock to the church as well. This is exciting indeed. Okay, we got to take a break. You are checking us out on this edition of News You Can Use. This is our first show of the new season at LaSalle TV. I'm so appreciative of the opportunity, Dr. Tanya Ellis, to be back at LaSalle TV with all the wonderful students who helped make this show possible. And so we're excited about that. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes after some important commercial announcements, and we'll keep talking with Dr. Patricia White and with Kimberly Smith. We're going to hear a little bit of the history of the Mount Carmel Baptist Church and why it is so very special. Stay with us right here at LaSalle TV.
Defender.
I am a public defender.
I'm proud to be a public defender.
80% of Americans accused of a crime will get appointed a public defender.
Everybody from a speeding ticket to capital murder.
For every dollar we spend on public defenders, we spend $3 on prosecutors.
Public defenders have to do pretty much everything on their own.
Social workers, counselors.
Investigating is another piece of it.
The average public defender holds 300 cases annually.
You never feel like there's enough time.
Public defenders have health issues all the time.
A lot of people give up and say, I can't do this work anymore.
Gideon's Promise trains, mentors, and supports public defenders.
There are a lot of people who say that they would not still be public defenders, but for Gideon's Promise.
It's fueled me to continue on in this fight.
Gideon's Promise has changed the face of public defense.
People see us as troublemakers.
Good trouble only.
We don't make it easy. It should not be easy to take away someone's liberty.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your Real ID self today. To learn how, visit tsa.gov/realid or your local DMV.
Dear University of...
Thank you for your offer
to become student ID number 283471.
While I appreciate your desire
for my impeccable academic record,
I must decline the opportunity
to get a generic degree.
I've decided to tell my story.
To be a student,
not a statistic.
I wish you good luck in the future
as I embark on mine.
right now with this edition of News You Can Use. On the program today, we are shining the spotlight on the Mount Carmel Baptist Church and the deaconess of Mount Carmel Baptist Church. More specifically, they have a wonderful women's conference. It's coming up on Saturday, March the 8th. So what better time than now, Black History Month, to tell you about it, because we want people to plan so you can put it on your calendar. We don't want you to talk about, I didn't know. No, you know about this. If you watch this show, you know about this, and we want you to be there. Dr. Patricia White is with me. She is the president of our deaconess. And then we have Kimberly Smith with us. She's one of our deaconess as well from Mount Carmel Baptist Church. How long have you been serving as a deaconess, Dr. White?
I think it's approximately 30 years.
Wow, that's a commitment. That is a commitment. And I have to share that your late husband was Mr. White, Mr. John White Sr., and he was a leader not only at Mount Carmel Baptist Church, but in the city of Philadelphia and beyond. From my understanding, it was your husband, along with W. Wilson Good and the late Hardy, Senator Hardy Williams, and some others, who used to put their heads together and have meetings at your house and some of the other houses in West Philadelphia about Black politics and how to move our city forward and how to get African Americans into elected office. It started with your husband.
That's where it
started with your husband. So you come from a famous family, have your own fame in your own right, but your late husband certainly made his mark while he lived.
Yes.
And he was a senior member of Mount Carmel. Was he was the head of the trustees or the deacons?
He was one of the deacons, but he was men of Mount Carmel was very active.
Very
while
active.
While he was living, and they covered the whole Commonwealth of Pennsylvania with their service and with their activities that they did. So
Mount Carmel Baptist Church. So let's talk a little bit about the history. Like, how long has Mount Carmel been around? And I know we've got a pastor now, Reverend Dr. Donald Moore, who's been the pastor. He's got 10 years in now. I can't believe it's been 10 years, because I've been gone about 10 years. But he is the pastor, been the pastor for 10 years, and we've got Pastor Emeritus, Reverend Dr. Albert F. Campbell.
Still hanging there. He's he's still active and still doing, and which is a blessing for us. Because we get to see him every Sunday, even though. And he works right along with our pastor Moore to be there for us and to help to bring Mount Carmel all the way up to where we need to be, because it's been a little bit of a trial coming from COVID, like every other church, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this conference, because we wanted to get back into doing what we do. Because Mount Carmel, 140
plus years.
144 years or so, has served Philadelphia and West Philly especially all these years.
All these years, my. One of the things about Mount Carmel that I love is that our ministry is not just within the walls of the church, but our ministry is in the community as well. One of the things that I always think about was Mount Carmel Gardens, right next door to Mount Carmel Baptist Church, a beautiful apartment complex there that's been there for quite a number of years now. But that's one of the things that comes to mind. I know that Mount Carmel adopted years ago elementary school right there by Mount Carmel, and just this past Christmas of 2024, we're over there giving out toys and doing special activities with the children at the school.
Absolutely.
And so many other things that Mount Carmel does.
Because we're at this point we serve the community at large in Philadelphia. My car is filled right now with items to take down to the Baptist Women's Center for the men who come there from the homeless shelters for food. So we serve our membership and the community and the larger community of Philadelphia, and have been doing it over these years. So we're just getting back into what we're used to doing, what people are used to seeing us do.
And I feel like Mount Carmel has something for everyone. There's the women's ministry. There is the men's ministry. Maybe you would like to try to be considered to be a deaconess. or maybe you want to be on the hospitality committee.
Absolutely.
We've got a youth group. They're doing so much. I know that the
Yes,
men of
and
Mount
the
Carmel
men
are
are
getting
getting
ready to
ready-
have a trip up to Washington, D.C. for
Right,
the
big-
African American Museum.
Big trip.
A big trip that's going to be. So you're doing things. Mount
Yes.
Carmel is doing things
Yes.
not just in the church,
No.
but outside the church as well.
Yes, and we include everyone. We this is a women's ministry effort, but we do things for everybody to be included in whatever we're going to do.
Oh, I love the health ministry too. So
Oh,
I have to say,
yes.
like 3 Sundays in a row, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, before the new year came in, man, all I had to do was go to church. Just go to church on Sunday. And my guests from my radio show were right there. I was booking them from the breast cancer people, and I booked somebody from the memory loss group
That's
from
right,
the
that's
Penn,
right.
University of Penn, and just somebody else. I can't remember who else it was, but yes. So just go to church, Thera. You get all your guests right there.
I think we're doing a blood drive in the near future.
Yes.
And very near future. So active all the time.
And food cupboard. And
The
Mount
food
Carmel has a
cupboard
food
every,
cupboard. Tell us
every
about
other
that.
Wednesday, yes. The food cupboard, and to provide for the food cupboard, our membership and the community, we bring in items on first Sunday to make sure that we have what we need in order to provide for the people who are coming in to the food cupboard. The ministry, the deaconess ministry, provides toiletries.
And food insecurity is still very real in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Some people don't get it. Folks that are blessed and maybe just don't understand how blessed they
Yeah.
are. They've got money. They get a paycheck every other week or whatever. But there are people out here who are scraping to
right.
get along. And if it weren't for food banks like Mount Carmel Baptist
Yes.
Church, my job, they do a food bank every week, Allegheny West Foundation. Some of these other wonderful churches, Zion Baptist Church and others,
Absolutely.
are doing their part. And the way I'm hearing it, things may get tougher before they
Yeah.
get easier across the nation for all of us. So we need this stuff. Oh, let's get back to the women's conference because I'm told I've got 3 minutes left. Want to remind the ladies, give them a commercial right quick on why they need to be at this women's conference March the 8th.
They need to come so that they can take away from them, from this conference, all that they need in order to get their lives back on track. Because some of us have been laid back and not doing what we can do for ourselves and our communities. So all of that can happen while we come to this conference because we have some dynamic women who are going to be presenting. So
It's going to be good. It's
going
going
to
be
be
good.
good.
Got to come
only
down.
$25.
A great price. Come down to 57th and Race Streets to Mount Carmel Baptist Church. Tell folks what time service starts every Sunday because if they come to service after service, they can go downstairs and sign up.
Service starts at 10 a.m. every Sunday, and we'll be able to receive payments starting February the 9th through February 28th of $25 for our conference, Women Who Lead and Serve. And where do we go from here?
Okay, all righty. Well, in the last 2 minutes of the show that I have, I want to share with our viewing audience a project that God put on my heart to do. So years ago, God used to tell me to do things, and I always would say, but I can't, God. I can't do that. Because the ideas God would give me, all of them cost money. And so I would just be like, no, I can't, and just wouldn't do it. No, that's being hard-headed. You got to have faith and trust God, right?
Yes.
So middle of December of 2024, God said, Thera, do a Black women elected officials calendar to lift up our Black women elected officials and to lift up Black women and girls in general. And so I said, okay, God. And then a little voice said, but you don't have the money. How are you going to do this? There's only 2 weeks left to the year 2024. You talking about doing a calendar for the new year? But I said, God, I'm going to do it because you told me to do it, God. And so I started calling a few of my friends, and they gave me some sponsorship dollars so that we were able to put this calendar together. The first month features our Mayor, Sherelle Parker, the month of February. This calendar is unique and different in that most calendars are January to December, right? Well, my calendars always start in the month of February, Black History Month. And so my calendar runs February of 2025 to March of 2026. I have 17 African-American women elected officials in the calendar. The other thing that God told me to do was to give this calendar away to little girls and teenage girls and girls in college to inspire them as to what they can be. As you look at the bios of each of these 17 elected officials in this calendar, what you'll find is that they were school teachers, ministers, they were social workers, doctors, lawyers. They had other careers before they became elected officials. So again, I want little young girls to get this calendar in their hand for free and to be inspired. I can be like them. I can be a minister and then be an elected official. Why not? And so that's what it's about, this calendar project of mine. And if you want to know more about it, you can log on at linedwithluxury.com, www.linedwithluxury.com, to hear more about this calendar for girls. And for adults, we're going to have to charge the adults to get it, because so many adults have told me they want the calendar already. I'm like, well, but the calendars are for the girls. So if you buy the calendar, then I can go get some more printed for the girls. That's how we're going to do it. But I thank you, ladies, for joining me so much. I appreciate you for being here to start off my new season at LaSalle TV. Go ahead, Mount Carmel Baptist Church. Don't forget the Women's Conference. It is on Saturday, March the 8th at Mount Carmel Baptist Church. You start at what time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. That's what's up. All right. Thank you again for being with us on this edition of the show. And if God says so, we'll be back next time. I want you to stay with us at LaSalle TV on Comcast 56 and Verizon 36. And check me out on WWDB AM every Wednesday, 8 to 9 a.m. with the program Inside Scoop. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, life is fragile. Handle it with prayer.